Brubaker, and I'll be presenting my presentation on the growth of females in male-dominated machining industry. This research aims to educate the audience on how women have been treated in male-dominated industries and how it can benefit women within these workplaces. This is some of the equipment that we use within the machining industry. What is a male-dominated industry? Male-dominated industries are vulnerable for reinforcing masculine stereotypes that make it extremely hard for women to excel within these types of workforces. 25% of female employees or less makes a male-dominated industry. In the corner over here, this is an illustration on a male-dominated industry showing multiple male counterparts and very few female counterparts. These are some machining industry employment statistics. 85.5% are males, 13% are females, and 1.5% would rather not say. Over here in the corner, this is a illustration or picture of a female within a male-dominated industry. Overview of the problem. Common issues that females face within male-dominated industries are pay gaps, persuasive stereotypes, lack of mentoring and career development opportunities, higher stress and anxiety than their male counterparts, lack of faith when holding leadership roles, and sexual harassment from coworkers. Going back to one of the main common issues, which would be pay gaps, in 1960, women were making 61 cents on the dollar compared to their male counterparts. President John F. Kennedy signed the Equal Pay Act of 1963 on June 10, 1963. This act was put into play to make sure women and men were making the same wages for similar occupations. Unfortunately, even with this act being passed by Congress in 1963, there are still problems within the system. This is a female explaining to her male counterparts about the job that they are doing. It's been done so far. The machining industry has not taken any precautions towards these ongoing issues. Women in these career fields typically seek a sponsor or cope with these issues on their own. There are support groups for women in the machining industry that help uplift women regarding the existing workforces. One of the prominent support groups shown was the Diversity for Additive Manufacturing. This group helps encourage and promote diverse workforces in the machining industry. And this is an example of a woman in the machining industry. She feels like she's on her own, so that's why I put the illustration behind. How can we fix it? Bailey Gilbert, Wayne Community College machining professor, will be holding a conference for employers in the Wayne County area. Some of the employers that have been selected are AP Exhaust, Core Staff Service, GMA Placement Incorporation, and Megaforce. This conference will be held on December 13th, 2020. And here is a picture from Wayne Community College, some of the equipment that we have in the machining program. Conference 2020. Review of the topics being discussed. Professor Gilbert will be discussing the pay gap and the pay evaluation rubric that every employer will have to follow. Every employee will be getting these evaluation rubrics to assess their employees. These evaluations consist of observing on the job site and a written assessment for each employee. This review will determine the pay grade for each male and female employees. These evaluations also allow one-on-one time between employer and employee. Employers can sit down and discuss where each employee is exceeding and what needs work. Doing so will improve the industries tremendously because small problems are being fixed within their companies, and it will also show that these big industries care about making sure their female employees are equal within the workforce. This is an example of the assessment that they're going to be going through and within the valuations. So this will be an example. They sit down with their employer, they'll go through everything and they'll discuss, and that will determine their pay grade, because most of the time you got to think that someone who's getting a dollar raise because they're a male and a female is getting a 50-cent raise, just not on their work ethic but just because of the sex. Machining Conference 2020 Out of the Box Recruiting Tactics. Out of the box recruiting tactics like using social media, handing out brochures in colleges, and machining job websites geared towards women could also help increase female participation in these industries. One of the most popular websites employers can use to recruit females to their company is Indeed.com. This site will allow employers to visit and list that they are searching for females in their area, the criteria, and the credentials that they are looking for. This website will broadcast employment options for females within the company. Overall, recruiting will help promote this increase of female population with each company. Can this work? This plan is extremely feasible but will take time to fully implement. Wayne County is the first county to be performing these tactics into their workforce. Professor Gilbert is holding this conference so employers use these tactics to exceed the biannual 5% of female joining the machining industry today. This is a picture of Wayne Community College and some of the projects that we've been doing. Where will the financial funds come from? This is extraordinarily cost efficient. Employers already have employment funds, so the evaluations are just going to make sure that everyone is equal. Free recruiting site / advertisement. Professor Gilbert volunteered her time for the cause so she can explain how it feels to be a woman in a machining industry male-dominated workforce. Wayne Community also is allowing us the conference to be held in the Coliseum on December 13th, 2020. And this is a picture of the campus where it's going to be held at. Call of action. Employers are always looking for innovative ways to improve the machining field job sites, but the information given will also tremendously benefit women in today's industries. It will create an equal playing field for not only men but for women as well. Females will start being held to a higher standard with equal pay as their male colleagues, and may finally defeat the stigma that the machining industry is only for the boys. With all inclusive issues being resolved, the machining industry will be a better profession that females can and will succeed in. Thank you for listening to what I had to say. This is my reference page with all the sites from all the illustrations / pictures and the information that was used within my slides.